Stop scrolling. This moment is not an accident. You didn't click this video by chance. The universe pulled you here. Because tonight, your life is about to flip forever. You've cried, you've waited, you've begged for a breakthrough, and now it's finally here. Listen closely. God is preparing to release $555 million into your life. Not someday, not maybe, now. The only question is, will you open your hands to receive it? Watch this video till the end because your destiny is waiting. You've been here before, haven't you? The late night hour when the world has gone quiet, but your thoughts won't let you rest. The clock glows in the darkness, 2:13 a.m., 3:27 a.m., 4:05 a.m., time moving, but your heart stuck in the same heavy place. You lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anyone truly sees you, wondering if anyone understands the weight you carry, the tears that never make it past your pillow, the questions you're too afraid to ask out loud. You replay moments in your mind like broken film reels. The disappointment you couldn't explain, the rejection you didn't deserve, the loss that cracked your chest open and left you gasping for breath. You think of the job you worked so hard for but didn't get, the love you gave that wasn't returned, the dreams you buried because reality demanded survival. The silence in your room grows heavier, like a blanket that smothers instead of comforts. You whisper small prayers, fragile as glass, into the dark. God, do you hear me? Do you even see me anymore? And then the silence answers back, a silence that feels cruel, a silence that makes you wonder if maybe you're invisible. Maybe your existence doesn't matter. Maybe nothing is going to change. Your chest tightens. Tears sting the corners of your eyes. You turn your face into the pillow, hoping to muffle the sobs that come anyway, because you don't want anyone to know how close you are to breaking. You don't want anyone to see how tired you are of being strong. You think of the bills stacked on the counter, red letters screaming overdue. You think of the way your child's eyes looked when you said, "Not this time, maybe next week." You think of the friendships that drifted away because you couldn't keep up, because you were too exhausted, too drained, too busy holding everything together with trembling hands. You wonder, will this be my life forever? Scraping by, patching holes, pretending to be okay while I quietly fall apart inside? The thought terrifies you, because deep down, you know you were made for more. You've always felt it like a hidden fire in your chest that refuses to go out, no matter how many storms try to drown it. But storms wear you down. Years of disappointment erode your confidence. Nights of loneliness gnaw at your hope. You start to believe maybe the fire was only your imagination. Maybe you're not destined for greatness. Maybe you were only meant to survive, not thrive. And still, a whisper inside you argues back. It says, "No, this isn't the end. This isn't all there is." But right now, in this midnight silence, that whisper feels faint. You can barely hear it over the pounding of your doubts. You pull the covers over your head as if that will hide you from the emptiness. Your eyes close, but peace doesn't come. Only questions, only fear, only the haunting thought that maybe nothing will ever change. Yet, even in your pain, something unseen is happening. Behind the curtain of your exhaustion, in the unseen corridors of the universe, threads are being pulled together. Your story is not as silent as it seems. Your cries have not gone unnoticed. The pillow that caught your tears is a witness to every hidden ache, and heaven has heard every soundless prayer. Right now, as you lie awake wondering if anyone knows, there is a stirring, a movement you can't yet feel, the kind of movement that happens just before the dawn breaks, just before night surrenders to light. You may not believe it yet. You may not feel it yet. But what if I told you this very restlessness is proof that the waiting season is nearing its end? Proof that the reason you're awake tonight isn't just insomnia or anxiety, but the tremor of change pressing against your spirit. Because the truth is, you were never meant to stay here forever. This bed of sorrow, this endless loop of lack and disappointment, was not your final destination. The heaviness you feel is not your identity. The silence that's haunted you is not abandonment. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You're on the edge of something sacred, something vast, something so beyond what you can imagine that if you could see even one glimpse of it, you'd break down and weep, not from pain this time, but from overwhelming relief. But for now, all you know is the ache, the sleepless night, the silent cry, the fragile hope that flickers in your chest and refuses to die, even though everything around you tells you to give up. And maybe, just maybe, that flicker is enough, because the smallest light can defeat the darkest night. The tiniest seed can grow into the mightiest tree, and the whisper inside you, the one that insists there must be more, is not a lie. It's the beginning of your answer. So breathe. Let your chest rise again. Let the tears come if they need to, because even here, even now, when you feel unseen and unheard, you are on holy ground. The universe has been watching. God has been listening. And the silence you thought was emptiness was actually preparation. This is where the story begins to turn. This sleepless night is not your defeat. It's the setup for your deliverance. The crack before the breakthrough. The silence before the voice that changes everything. You've been waiting for someone to speak to your soul, to tell you that your pain matters, to tell you that your future is bigger than your past, to tell you that you are not crazy for believing you were made for more. This is that moment. This is that voice. Lean in, stay with me, because what comes next is not just an idea, not just empty comfort, but the revelation you've been aching to hear. The sleepless night is ending. The silent cry has been heard, and the answer is on its way. There is a moment, right after the heaviest silence, when something shifts. It is subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a single drop of rain breaking through a parched desert sky. But if you are still enough, if you listen closely, you feel it. You hear it. It begins like a murmur at the edges of your despair. Not thunderous, not overwhelming, gentle, steady, unmistakable. A voice that doesn't come from outside, but from deep within, echoing in the hollow spaces where your hope had been fading. My child, it says, you freeze. The words don't come through your ears as much as they reverberate in your soul. You know instantly this is not imagination, not wishful thinking. This is presence. This is love. This is the sound of the one who has been watching you all along. I see you. 3 simple words, but they pierce through the armor of loneliness you've carried. You feel something crack, not in a way that destroys you, but in a way that finally lets the light in. For the first time in a long time, you realize you are not invisible. You are not abandoned in this dark night. I have seen every tear you've shed when no one was watching. I've counted every sigh you tried to swallow, every moment you thought you were alone. I have been closer than your own breath. I have been here, waiting for you to hear me. The words wrap around you like a blanket, not the suffocating kind you've known, but the kind that warms, comforts, reassures. You want to argue back, to say, but if you were here, why didn't you stop the pain? Why didn't you prevent the losses, the betrayals, the endless struggles? The voice answers without judgment, without impatience, because even pain has been shaping you. Even silence has been teaching you. Even darkness has been preparing you for what is about to unfold. What you thought was punishment was preparation. What you thought was the end was the threshold of a new beginning. You sit up slightly, as though your body instinctively wants to lean closer. Your heart races, not with fear, but with a strange kind of recognition. Somewhere deep, you've always known that this moment would come, the moment when heaven itself would break through your despair. The season of waiting is over. The chapter of silence is closing. A new chapter begins now, one marked not by scarcity, but by abundance. Not by despair, but by blessing. Not by loneliness, but by the arrival of people, opportunities, and favor designed just for you. The words roll through you like waves crashing against a shoreline you thought was barren. You want to believe them, yet doubt still clings like chains around your wrists. The voice does not scold you for hesitating. Instead, it meets your fear with power. You were not brought this far by accident. Every step, every scar, Every sleepless night has led here to this moment, this message, this turning point. You have reached the threshold of your transformation. You inhale sharply, because something in you knows this is true. Your soul recognizes the authority in the voice. It is the kind of truth that cannot be faked, cannot be fabricated. It is truth that doesn't just sound convincing, it feels like home. Do not let doubt steal this from you. The voice continues. The enemy will whisper lies that you're not worthy, that this isn't real, that nothing ever changes. But I tell you, with certainty, those whispers are weak compared to my promise. What I have prepared for you is greater than you've dared to imagine. Your skin tingles. The air in the room feels charged, alive, like the atmosphere before a storm breaks open. For the first time in years, hope doesn't feel like a cruel joke. It feels possible. It feels near. I'm about to set something extraordinary in motion for you. Doors that were locked will open. Opportunities that seemed impossible will appear. Provision that you never thought could find you will arrive. This will not be random. This will not be coincidence. This will be divine. Your chest tightens again, but this time not from despair, from anticipation. Could it be? Could everything really change? Could the endless cycle of waiting and struggling finally give way to something new? The voice grows stronger, deeper, yet still tender. Yes, believe it. For too long you have carried heavy burdens. For too long you felt unseen and unworthy. But your long season of waiting has ended. Now comes the season of restoration. The word restoration lingers in the air like music. Restoration, the return of what was lost, the healing of what was broken, the rebuilding of what was destroyed. Restoration, not just scraps or leftovers, but fullness, wholeness, overflowing goodness. Tears rise again, but they feel different now. Not the tears of hopelessness, but of recognition. Because deep down you knew you weren't meant to stay in the dark forever. You knew there had to be something more. And now the voice confirms it. My child, this is the moment everything turns. This is the night heaven invades your silence. This is the beginning of the blessing you have been praying for. Stay close, stay open. What I am releasing is beyond what your mind can grasp. The room feels different now. The shadows don't seem as heavy. The air feels lighter. And your heart, the same heart that was suffocating under sorrow just moments ago, beats with new strength. You can almost sense the shift happening, not tomorrow, not years from now, but now. This is no longer just a sleepless night. This is the night you will remember as the pivot point of your story. The night when the voice in the darkness declared, "Your waiting season is over." The voice does not fade. It grows steadier, more resolute, like a river finding its course after years of drought. You sit in the stillness, caught between disbelief and wonder, when the next words arrive not gentle this time, but thunderous in their certainty. Listen carefully. What I am about to release into your life is not small. It is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is extraordinary. I am preparing for you an outpouring that will leave no doubt in your mind where it came from. You are about to receive $555 million. Your breath catches. The number hangs in the air, larger than life, almost impossible to comprehend. $555 million. You shake your head slightly as though to clear it. Did you hear that right? Could this possibly be real? And yet, deep in your chest, something leaps, not fear, not skepticism, but recognition. Because though the amount seems staggering, it doesn't feel random. It feels chosen. It feels intentional. This is not a fantasy, the voice insists. This is provision. This is destiny. This is the measure of blessing I am aligning for you. Resources, opportunities, and favor are converging, moving in your direction, preparing to arrive in such a way that you will know it was never luck. It was never coincidence. It was always me. Your mind races, trying to imagine what $555 million even looks like. You see vaults of money, stacks upon stacks that stretch higher than you can reach. You imagine numbers in your bank account so large they don't even feel real. And then the images shift, debts evaporating. Notices marked, paid in full. Your loved ones breathing sighs of relief. Homes secured. Futures protected. The voice paints it clearer. Picture it. Imagine the weight lifting as debts dissolve like dust in the wind. Imagine the freedom as fear retreats, replaced by stability. Imagine doors swinging wide that were once bolted shut. Imagine stepping into abundance so complete that scarcity itself becomes nothing but a distant memory. Your eyes close and the vision floods in, vivid and cinematic. You see yourself walking into a bank, but this time not with anxiety, not with dread, but with peace. You see numbers lighting up on a screen, 9 figures strong, more than enough to cover every burden you've ever carried. You see yourself standing tall, shoulders back, breathing without the tightness that has lived in your chest for years. $555 million will not only change your circumstances, the voice continues, it will change your identity. No longer will you call yourself small, forgotten, powerless. No longer will you live beneath the weight of fear. You will stand as one chosen, one blessed, one trusted, with the resources of heaven itself. You swallow hard because the thought overwhelms you. A part of you whispers, "This is too much. Why me? How could I deserve something so great?" But the voice anticipates your resistance. This is not about what you deserve. This is about what I have chosen. You were marked for this long before you ever doubted yourself. You were designed for this provision, not as a prize for performance, but as a gift of purpose. I am not giving this wealth to inflate your ego. I am placing it in your hands to unlock your destiny. Your chest tightens again, not with fear this time, but with awe, because suddenly the $555 million doesn't look like greed or excess. It looks like freedom. It looks like possibility. It looks like purpose. This will not just be riches, the voice declares. This will be restoration. This will be redemption. With this blessing, you will rise into a space where your calling can be fulfilled without limits. No more scraping by. No more shrinking back. With $555 million, you will step into a future where you can give, heal, create, and bless others in ways you never dreamed possible. The images rush again, sharper this time. You see schools being built in neighborhoods that had none. You see families lifted from poverty into safety. You see hospitals funded, missions supported, innovations launched that heal communities. You see generations transformed, not just your family, but countless others because of what you were entrusted to carry. The thought humbles you. It terrifies you. It excites you all at once. And the voice presses deeper. Do not let fear choke this out. Do not let doubt pull you back into smallness. The enemy will say, "This isn't real. You're not worthy. You can't handle this." Reject it. Reject every lie that tries to shrink you. For I tell you the truth, your worth is anchored in me, not in your past mistakes, not in your performance, not in the voices that tried to convince you otherwise. The room feels alive now. Every shadow seems to hum with energy. Every breath feels heavier with presence. You are trembling, not from weakness, but from the sheer magnitude of what you are being told. This number is not random. This figure is not arbitrary. It has been prepared. It has been promised. It has been set aside. And now it moves toward you. $555 million is not a dream. It is a decree. You whisper the number under your breath as though testing it. 555 million. The syllables feel strange, heavy, powerful on your tongue. For so long, you've been used to saying numbers with limitations: $50 short, $300 overdue, $1,000 out of reach. But this is different. This is beyond. And even as your mind scrambles to understand, your heart knows. This is the promise. This is the unshakable truth breaking into your life. The voice softens again, wrapping you in certainty. My child, I am preparing to bless you in ways you can hardly imagine. Open your heart. Do not resist. Do not explain it away. Simply receive it. For this is not about what you've earned, this is about what I have ordained. $555 million is on its way. You inhale slowly, deeply, as though breathing in the promise itself. For the first time, you let yourself believe. And in that belief, something shifts forever. The promise echoes inside you like a bell that refuses to be silenced. $555 million is coming. And yet, even as your heart wants to grab hold of it, a familiar shadow creeps in. Doubt. The quiet adversary that has followed you your entire life, whispering its poison into your ear. Not you, it hisses. This can't be for you. You're not special enough. You've made too many mistakes. Others are chosen, not you. You don't deserve it. The words are sharp, insidious, and they pierce through the fragile hope that's just begun to bloom. Memories rise up in response. The times you failed, the times you gave in to fear, the times you wasted opportunities. Shame wraps around you like heavy chains, trying to drag you back into the pit you thought you were leaving behind. But then the voice speaks again, louder, clearer, and this time with fire. Do not listen to the lies of the enemy. Do not let fear define you. Do not let doubt steal what has already been written for you. The adversary has always sought to make you small, because he knows how great your destiny truly is. The words strike deep, cutting through the haze of doubt. You realize something. Fear was never truth. It was always theft. Doubt was never protection. It was always sabotage. Every time you shrank back, every time you convinced yourself you weren't enough, you weren't hearing your own voice. You were hearing the hiss of an enemy, terrified of what would happen if you stepped fully into who you are. My child, the voice continues, tender now, but no less powerful. Your worth has never been measured by your past. Your value has never depended on your performance. Before the world began, I chose you. Before you ever doubted yourself, I called you mine. Nothing, not failure, not mistakes, not rejection can separate you from my love or from my plan. Your breath shudders as if your lungs themselves are breaking free. Chains begin to rattle in your spirit. The lies that once sounded like truth now reveal themselves as fragile shadows, powerless in the presence of this light. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too unworthy. The blessing I have prepared does not come because of your perfection. It comes because of my promise, and my promises cannot be broken. The words land like a hammer shattering shackles. Suddenly, images rush into your mind, times when doubt held you hostage, the opportunities you didn't take because you thought you weren't qualified, the dreams you buried because you believed they were too big for someone like you, the prayers you cut short because you thought you were asking for too much. And then, with equal force, another vision, those same opportunities resurrected, doors opening again, dreams reawakening, prayers rising boldly without apology. It is as if heaven itself is saying, pick them back up. Every lost moment is being restored. Every closed door is being unlocked. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is too late. You feel your heart swell as the voice declares, the chains of doubt are breaking. The weight of fear is lifting. You are stepping into a new identity, not as one overlooked, but as one chosen. Not as one forgotten, but as one favored. You see yourself differently now, standing taller, not because your circumstances have changed yet, but because your soul has remembered the truth. You were never meant to cower in the shadows. You were always meant to shine in the fullness of destiny. The adversary whispers one last time, you can't handle this. If $555 million really comes, it will destroy you. But the voice interrupts with thunder. No. What I give, I equip. What I release, I sustain. You will not be crushed by blessing, you will be strengthened by it. You will not be undone by abundance, you will be enlarged by it. This wealth will not corrupt you. It will confirm you. It will reveal the true strength and generosity that I planted inside you long ago. Tears stream down your face, but they are not tears of despair. They are tears of release. tears of recognition, because for the first time in so long you realize you are not weak, you are not forgotten, you are not undeserving, you are chosen, you are loved, you are prepared. The chains fall, the fear dissolves, and the promise of $555 million no longer feels impossible. It feels inevitable. Stand firm, the voice concludes. When the enemy tries again, and he will remind yourself of this truth, I am with you. I have called you. I have chosen you. My hand is on you, and nothing can stop what I have set in motion. The air feels different now, clearer, lighter. The space that was once filled with whispers of fear is now ringing with the declarations of freedom. And for the first time, you whisper back, with trembling lips but steady resolve, I believe. The moment you say it, something shifts in the atmosphere. You feel it. You know it. The chains of doubt are not only broken, they are gone. And now, nothing can keep you from what's coming. Now that the chains of fear have fallen, the voice doesn't leave you standing in emptiness. Instead, it begins to paint a picture of vision so vivid you can almost touch it. It is not abstract. It is not vague. It is clear, detailed, cinematic. And in this vision, you begin to see what $555 million truly means. Close your eyes, the voice whispers, and see. You obey, and suddenly, the canvas of your mind erupts with color and movement. First, you see your debts vanish. The letters marked overdue curl and fade into dust, the weight that pressed on your chest dissolving in an instant. The credit cards that once felt like shackles are cut away. The loans that haunted you are stamped paid in full. It is as though every single burden you carried has been erased with the sweep of an unseen hand. Your breathing slows. For the first time in years, it feels effortless. Then the vision shifts. You see your family. Not tense, not worried, not weary from scraping by. You see joy return to their faces, laughter, warmth, ease. Children running barefoot in wide-open spaces, their futures no longer chained to scarcity. Loved ones breathing freely, no longer fearing the mailbox, no longer shrinking from impossible bills. The atmosphere in your home is transformed. No more arguments about money, no more silent sacrifices, only peace. The voice deepens. With $555 million, fear retreats. Doors open. Dreams wake up. You will not live in survival anymore, you will live in freedom. Your heart swells, but the vision isn't done. Now you see yourself walking into rooms you were once excluded from. Doors that once slammed in your face now swing wide. Opportunities that were unreachable are suddenly waiting for you. Contracts, partnerships, platforms, invitations, all aligning, all flowing your way. It's more than money, it's favor, it's divine alignment. And then the vision stretches beyond you. You see communities rising. Entire neighborhoods, once broken by poverty, are rebuilt. Schools with bright classrooms and safe playgrounds stand where empty lots once rotted. Hospitals with cutting-edge care bloom in places where families used to suffer without access. Foundations are funded. Missions are empowered. Legacies are written. The voice speaks again. This is not just about your comfort. This is about purpose. This wealth is not meant to sit in silence. It is meant to move, to flow, to create life. Tears blur your eyes as the images flood faster. A mother crying tears of relief as her child receives a scholarship. A father embracing his family in a home that can never be taken away. A village with fresh water because someone you had the resources to dig wells. A generation rising because you refuse to keep the blessing to yourself. Your mind tries to keep up with the flood, but it is too vast. The abundance is bigger than one lifetime, bigger than one family. It stretches across generations, across borders, across time itself. Scarcity will be only a memory, the voice promises. You will step into abundance so complete that lack will no longer define you. You will know what it means to overflow, and in that overflow you will find your truest calling. The vision sharpens again, this time into something deeply personal. You see yourself waking each morning without anxiety, No alarm dragging you into work you hate, no constant knot in your stomach. Instead, you wake with peace, with clarity, with energy. You rise because you want to, not because you have to. You spend your time not chasing survival, but creating, giving, building, and living fully. Your heart aches with longing, not because the vision is far, but because it feels so close, so possible, so alive. The voice continues, firm yet tender. Do not confuse this with greed. Do not shrink back in false humility. This is not about hoarding. This is about healing. This is about freedom. This is about unleashing the full measure of who you were always meant to be. The words settle deep into your chest. For so long, you associated wealth with corruption, with arrogance, with danger. But now, you see it differently. Wealth in the hands of the chosen is not a curse. It is a weapon against darkness. It is a key to doors long sealed shut. It is a tool for building futures, restoring lives, and fulfilling destiny. You whisper the number again, 555 million. This time, it doesn't sound strange. It doesn't feel impossible. It feels right. It feels like a promise that was always meant for you, finally being revealed. The vision lingers, wrapping around you, filling you with a mixture of awe and responsibility. You can almost feel the money in your hands, not heavy, not corrupting, but alive, like energy flowing through you, meant to move, to multiply, to transform. This, the voice declares, is your future. This is your portion. This is your calling. Abundance without fear, wealth with purpose, freedom that expands beyond you into the lives of countless others. This is the vision of $555 million unfolding. And as the images fade, leaving you breathless and trembling, you realize this isn't just what could be. This is what will be. The promise is alive. The abundance is already in motion. And all that's left is for you to step into it. The vision fades slowly, like the final scene of a film, but its imprint burns into your spirit. Your heart beats with both exhilaration and weight, because now you know something undeniable. This blessing isn't random, and it isn't just for you. The voice returns, steady, deliberate, filled with holy gravity. Listen closely, my child. $555 million is not simply a windfall. It is a trust. It is not merely a gift. It is a sacred assignment. I am not only enriching you, I am entrusting you. The words echo, and you feel the shift in your chest. This isn't just about escaping struggle. It's about carrying responsibility, a responsibility so vast it demands wisdom, humility, and faith. Blessing without stewardship leads to ruin, the voice warns gently. But blessing received with reverence becomes transformation. Wealth will reveal what has always lived inside you. If fear rules you, money will magnify fear. If greed consumes you, money will magnify greed. But if gratitude and generosity anchor you, wealth will magnify light, love, and legacy. You feel your breath catch. It's as though every dollar of that $555 million already has a weight, a destiny, a purpose attached to it. It's not just cash, it's potential, it's energy, it's divine intention waiting to be released through your hands. You see another vision, two roads stretching before you. On one road, the wealth is squandered, lavish indulgence, reckless spending, shallow pursuits. At first, it looks like freedom, but soon it collapses into emptiness, broken families, lost purpose, regret. The abundance turns into ashes because it was never honored, never stewarded, never aimed towards destiny. On the other road, the wealth flows like a river, steady and purposeful. Homes rebuilt, generations educated, communities healed, lives transformed. The one carrying it walks humbly, never enslaved by the money, but always guiding it toward light. On this road, $555 million is not just wealth. It becomes a movement, a testimony, a legacy that stretches far beyond a single lifetime. The voice speaks firmly. You must choose which road you will walk. Will you treat this as luck, or will you carry it as calling? Your chest tightens. The question cuts deep, because you know this is no longer about desire. It's about alignment. The blessing isn't given for hoarding, it's given for multiplying. I do not give without intention, the voice continues. I am calling you to be more than a receiver. I am calling you to be a steward, a vessel, a channel through which heaven's abundance flows into the earth. This $555 million is not an end. It is a beginning. You close your eyes, and the weight of it all presses in. Yet, strangely, it doesn't crush you. It awakens you. For so long, you thought your life was small, insignificant. But now you see the size of the blessing reveals the size of your calling. The voice grows tender again. Do not fear this responsibility. I will guide you. I will place wisdom in your path. I will surround you with counsel and clarity. You are not meant to carry this alone. Stewardship is not about perfection, it is about obedience. It is about keeping your heart open, your motives pure, your purpose clear. You imagine yourself holding that wealth in your hands, not as a pile of bills or digits on a screen, but as seeds. Seeds that can either rot in selfish soil or grow into forests that feed generations. The image strikes you with force. $555 million as a forest. Each dollar a seed, each seed a future life changed. And in that moment, you know you were never meant to hoard the seeds. You were meant to plant them. The voice confirms it. With great blessing comes great responsibility. This money is a tool. It is power, yes, but power meant to heal, to build, to restore. I am entrusting you because I know your heart. I know that when you yield to me, you will not only receive wealth, you will multiply its impact. The words wash over you, and you feel a new resolve rising. This is not greed, this is not ego, this is destiny. You whisper back, halting but sincere. Then teach me to carry it well. Teach me to honor this trust. Teach me to steward the $555 million with wisdom and with love. The atmosphere seems to respond. Peace settles into the room, grounding you. The fear of too much dissolves. The shame of not enough evaporates. What remains is a wholly balanced humility to receive and courage to release. This is your sacred call, the voice says, final and clear. Receive the blessing, but never forget it is not only for you. It is for the countless lives waiting to be touched, healed, lifted, and transformed through your hands. Steward well, and this $555 million will become more than wealth. It will become a legacy of light. You inhale deeply, steady now, anchored, and in that breath, something inside you clicks into place. You are no longer just someone hoping for change. You are someone chosen to carry it. And from this moment forward, you know your life will never be the same. The voice lingers, strong and steady, but now it shifts. No longer only revelation, no longer only vision. Now it speaks with clarity, precision, and instruction. Because what is coming isn't just spiritual, it's practical. $555 million will not only transform your spirit, it will collide with your daily reality, and when it does, you must be ready. Blessing without preparation invites destruction. The voice begins. But blessing with wisdom becomes multiplication. My child, listen carefully. I am not only sending $555 million to your life, I am equipping you to carry it. You lean in, heart pounding, as though the words are mapping out the blueprint of your destiny. First, the voice says, guard your heart. The arrival of wealth will reveal what is inside you. If you are ruled by fear, money will magnify fear. If you are ruled by gratitude, money will magnify generosity. Before a single dollar lands in your hands, anchor yourself in humility and prayer. Speak it daily. God, make me humble, make me wise, make me generous. This is your foundation. You nod unconsciously, as if engraving the words on your soul. Second, the voice continues. Build your circle of wisdom. $555 million is a vast river, and without guidance it can flood and destroy. You will need skilled stewards, a financial advisor who honors integrity, a tax attorney who defends your wealth, a certified public accountant who ensures accountability, and a wealth manager who sees beyond numbers to purpose. Choose carefully. Seek not only competence but character, for these voices will guard the treasure I place in your hands. You see flashes in your mind. A table surrounded by wise counselors, contracts laid out, plans mapped with precision, not predators waiting to consume you, but guardians who protect and multiply the blessing. Third, the voice says, write your vision. Without a vision, wealth wanders, but with a mission, wealth marches. What will you prioritize? Education, healthcare, homes for the broken, communities restored? Write it down. Make the vision plain, so every decision, every investment, every act of generosity flows from purpose, not impulse. The words strike deep. You realize that $555 million without a compass could scatter like dust, but $555 million anchored to vision could build empires of light. Fourth, the voice instructs, secure your family and your legacy. Use part of this blessing to ensure stability, not just comfort, but structures that last. Create trusts, establish family governance, and teach the next generation not only how to receive wealth, but how to steward it. Wealth without wisdom destroys. Wealth with legacy creates dynasties of purpose. You see your children or your future children sitting at a table, being taught not just about money, but about responsibility, about generosity, about faith. A generation prepared to carry the torch beyond your lifetime. Fifth, the voice continues, invest with intention. Let part of the $555 million rest in safe, steady ground conservative investments that preserve and grow. But let another part flow boldly into impact real estate that provides homes for the overlooked, businesses that bring jobs to the marginalized, ventures that heal the earth and uplift the broken. Do not fear risk when it serves purpose, but never let greed guide your hand. The words feel like strategy unfolding, not just spirituality but structure, a sacred balance of caution and courage. Sixth, the voice says, protect your reserves. Keep liquid strength, an emergency fund, an operating flow ready for crises or divine opportunities that require immediate action. Wealth tied up is wealth that cannot move when I call. Keep your hands open, ready. You inhale sharply. It's practical, it's grounded, it's real. Seventh, the voice speaks, let generosity be your rhythm, not your afterthought. Allocate. Give consistently, not sporadically. Fund missions, charities, causes. Respond to needs quickly. Surprise the weary with provision. In giving, you protect your soul from greed. In generosity, you mirror my heart. Your chest warms as you see yourself writing checks, not with fear of what will remain, but with joy at what will flow. You see faces lifted, tears of relief, communities healed by the overflow of generosity. Eighth, the voice cautions, protect your privacy and your safety. Sudden wealth attracts danger. Guard your home, your information, your circle, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Trust carefully, reveal little, and let humility cloak you. The image sharpens not of hiding, but of moving wisely, covered and secure. Ninth, the voice says, nurture your soul, for wealth without soul care will hollow you. Stay rooted in prayer, in scripture, in quiet moments with me. Do not let busyness or status erode your foundation. Remember, the true treasure is not the money, it is my presence, my voice, my guidance. Your breath slows. You realize that even $555 million cannot satisfy if your soul is starved. But with spiritual grounding, the wealth becomes not just riches, but a river of eternal impact. 10th, the voice declares, think bigger than yourself. With this blessing, you are not only lifting individuals, you are transforming systems. Fund schools that break generational poverty. Build hospitals where none exist. Back research that changes futures. Seed movements that shift entire cultures. Think in decades, in generations. Let your wealth become a revolution of good. your vision widens. It's not just about your family, not just about your lifetime. It's about planting seeds that outlive you, forests of change that stretch far beyond your reach. The voice grows quiet, but the weight of its wisdom lingers. Do you see, my child? This is not random wealth. This is structured destiny. Receive the blessing, but build wisely. Steward faithfully. For when $555 million lands in your hands, you will not only be a millionaire, you will be a builder of legacies, a healer of communities, a multiplier of light. Your body trembles, not from fear now, but from resolve. You whisper softly, fiercely, I will be ready. I will guard my heart. I will write the vision. I will steward the blessing well. And in that declaration, you know you are no longer waiting passively. You are preparing actively. You are readying yourself to walk not only as a receiver of wealth, but as a steward of destiny. The wisdom still vibrates in your chest, but before you can even catch your breath, the voice rises again. Its tone shifts, no longer just about protection or planning, but about expansion, about the river that wealth becomes when it flows outward. Understand this, my child, the voice declares. $555 million is not only provision for you, it is power through you. I am not blessing you merely to lift your life, but to transform countless others. You are a vessel, a conduit, a channel through which heaven's abundance flows to earth. The words spark imagery so powerful you can barely contain it. You see the money not as stacks of bills or digits on a screen, but as water, living water, surging through your hands like a river, breaking dams of poverty, flooding deserts of despair, turning wastelands into gardens. Everywhere the water flows, life awakens. The vision zooms in. You see a mother, exhausted from years of struggling, holding her child. She has prayed silently for provision, for a miracle. Suddenly, a door opens. Scholarships, housing, medical care funded by your blessing. Tears stream down her face as she whispers, "Thank you, God." You see a father, weary from dead-end jobs, finally employed in a business. You helped launch a business that doesn't exploit, but restores dignity. He walks through his front door with food in his hands, joy in his eyes, and pride in his heart. You see children in classrooms, eyes bright, pencils scratching across pages, futures wide open because schools were built where once there was only neglect. You see clean water flowing where there was none, villages rejoicing as sickness fades, hope rises. The voice presses deeper. This is the impact of your stewardship. This is what happens when wealth is not hoarded but multiplied. $555 million is not just numbers. It is meals, homes, opportunities, cures, futures. It is justice in action. It is heaven's abundance breaking into earth's lack. Your heart pounds as the images race faster. Hospitals rising, orphanages restored, shelters expanded, entire communities rebuilt, neighborhoods once choked by despair now pulsing with life, ministries flourishing, missionaries sent, lives healed not in whispers but in waves. The voice softens, wrapping the vision in intimacy. Every dollar becomes a story. Every act of generosity becomes a seed, and every seed planted with love multiplies beyond what you can imagine. Some you will see, many you will never know, but each will ripple through time, touching lives across generations. You swallow hard, tears brimming. The sheer scale of it overwhelms you. It is as though your life is no longer confined to your own story, but interwoven with millions. This, the voice continues, is legacy. This is why I entrust you with much. Not so you can boast, but so you can bless. Not so you can escape the world, but so you can transform it. Your family will be secure, yes, but beyond your walls, nations will feel the ripple. Generations not yet born will taste the fruit of what you choose to plant today. The images shift again. You see yourself, not as someone clutching wealth, but as someone pouring it out like a gardener scattering seeds into soil, like a river overflowing its banks, like sunlight breaking across a frozen landscape. Everywhere it touches, life emerges. But then a sobering picture appears. You see others who once received abundance but hoarded it. Their wealth sat in vaults, gathering dust while people starved. Their riches rotted, their names forgotten. The contrast is stark, and the voice cautions, blessing without generosity decays. Wealth without flow becomes poison, but wealth released becomes resurrection. Choose, my child. Choose to be a conduit, not a container. Choose to let the river flow. You whisper, almost instinctively, I choose to flow. I choose to give. I choose to be the channel. As soon as you speak it, the vision intensifies. You see not just isolated acts, but movements. You see justice systems reformed, policies rewritten, nations rising because you dared to invest in leaders, in thinkers and builders. You see entrepreneurs born from scholarships, inventors changing the world because of resources you released. It hits you with full force. This isn't about $555 million making you rich. It's about $555 million making the world different. The voice swells, reverberating like thunder. This is your mantle. This is your mission. When the blessing arrives, remember, you are not the end point. You are the vessel. You are the river. Through you, I will heal families, restore communities, transform systems, ignite movements. Through you, I will release abundance that outlives you. You can barely breathe now, the gravity of it pressing down, but it doesn't feel crushing. It feels holy. It feels sacred. And for the first time, you see wealth not as something to fear, not as something to idolize, but as something to steward, something alive, something divine. The voice quiets, final and resolute. When $555 million arrives, remember this moment. Remember the river. Remember the vision. Do not shrink. Do not hoard. Flow. Multiply. Transform. For this is the true purpose of your blessing. Your hands tremble, but your spirit steadies. You whisper again, stronger now. I will be a conduit. I will let it flow. I will multiply the blessing until the world is changed. And in that vow, you step fully into the role you were born to carry. Not just millionaire, not just blessed. Conduit of transformation. The visions fade, but their echo fills every corner of your being. Your heart beats differently now. Your breath moves with a new rhythm. You are not who you were when this night began. You have seen what's possible. You have felt the weight of promise. You have heard the sacred call to be more than a receiver, to be a vessel of change. The voice, gentle but thunderous, returns one last time. My child, now you know, now you see. The sleepless nights, the silent cries, the doubts that bound you, they were not wasted. They were the soil for this very moment. You are standing at the threshold of destiny, and all of heaven waits for your answer. The atmosphere grows still, almost electric. It is as though the universe itself leans in, holding its breath. This is not casual. This is eternal. Do not let fear pull you back. Do not let smallness define you any longer. The blessing is already moving. The doors are already opening. The abundance is already on its way. $555 million has been set apart for you, not as luck, not as coincidence, as destiny, as provision, as a testimony of my faithfulness. Your eyes sting with tears. You think of every moment you doubted, every time you almost gave up, every prayer you whispered in the dark. And now here, the voice answers them all in one sweeping declaration. This is your time. This is your turn. Receive it. Believe it. Declare it. Do not shrink back. Step forward. Say yes. Align your spirit. Open your hands. Open your heart. For what I'm about to pour into your life is beyond what you can imagine, but it will require your agreement. You feel the weight of choice pressing in, not because you could lose it, the promise is secure, but because what you speak, what you believe, what you choose now will shape how you carry it. So you whisper, halting at first but growing stronger with every word. I receive. I receive the $555 million you have prepared. I will not shrink back. I will not hoard. I will not fear. I will steward it with wisdom. I will give freely. I will multiply blessing. I will honor you with every dollar. I accept this destiny. I embrace this call. The moment you speak it, something shifts. The room seems brighter. The air feels charged. Your body trembles as though every cell is awakening to a new reality. The voice responds, tender and final. It is done. The promise is sealed. The abundance is on its way. Walk forward in faith. Live as if it has already arrived. Prepare your hands. Guard your heart. Keep your spirit aligned. For soon, what was whispered will be visible. What was promised will be present. What was declared will be delivered. Your chest rises with a deep breath, steady now, filled with resolve. No longer the cry of the weary, but the roar of the chosen. And in that breath you realize you are ready, not just for wealth, but for purpose. Not just for blessing, but for legacy. Not just to receive, but to multiply. You will not be crushed by $555 million. You will be carried into destiny by it. You will not be silenced by fear. You will be amplified by faith. You will not merely be a millionaire. You will be a steward of miraculous change. The night that began with loneliness ends with thunder. The silence that once suffocated you now hums with power, and the future that felt impossible now waits with open arms. This is the end of waiting. This is the dawn of abundance. This is the turning point of your story. Now stand tall, step forward, live ready, because the $555 million is not just coming, it is already in motion. And when it arrives, you will know heaven itself has chosen you as its vessel. Receive it, carry it, multiply it. This is your final invitation and your eternal resolve. And now it's in front of you. The message has been spoken. The promise has been released. $555 million is moving toward your life, a blessing so massive it will not only change your future, but generations after you. This is no coincidence, no random chance. This is your divine appointment. So don't leave this moment empty-handed. Say it aloud. I receive. Step forward in faith, because the universe is already aligning doors, opportunities, and miracles for you. Like this video, subscribe for more divine messages, and share it so others can also claim their blessing. Your millionaire season begins now.